Oh my goodness, I'm so sleepy today. I feel like I did this last week too. I don't know, I think I got to work on time last week when I worked Factor on Saturday night, but I think I was just super groggy and tired, but I managed to get my ass out of bed. Well, not today. Nope, not today. Just had some really deep, weird dreams, slept really hard, and my alarm did wake me up on time, but I hit snooze a couple times, and then at one point, managed to change one of the alarms to an hour later. I just realized I was way too groggy to deal with anything. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I shot out a text to Anthony, the night supervisor, manager, whatever you want to call him for MLS, and he just responded with okay. So I told him I was on my way. I guess I should say the date and time. That would help, huh? Sunday, November 26th, 2023, 3:17 p.m. See, I should have been to work an hour and 17 minutes ago. I mean, as it is, I'm kind of pressed for time to sleep between getting off Factor at 5:30 a.m. and having to be at MLS at the Rental Car Center at 2 p.m. Oh, they're painting the school building right to the right. That's pretty nice. A couple of guys up on a lift hand painting the sign that has the name of the school on it, nearly to the top of the building. So as I was saying, yeah, I'm kind of pressed for time just based on the work schedule, but then add into the fact that one of the guys I work with, the last 3 shifts, I've been giving him a ride home. I mean, he's always made it worth my while by throwing me some extra stuff, and I feel for the guy. I mean, he's a hard-working guy. He's one of the hardest-working guys there. And keep in mind, this is one of those kind of places of employment where a lot of people are hired, and there's just so many people there that some people just have absolutely shitty work ethic. They want a paycheck, but they don't really want to work. And if they can disappear and screw around during a portion of their shift and still get paid, like that's what they're about. They're not trying to really get any work done. And then when you're talking about people working through an app like WorkWhile, with some of them it's even worse. The 2 guys that I wish I could remember his name. Really nice guy. The guy I gave the ride home to. There was 2 guys that were working. He was in the same position last night as he was Friday night. He was doing boxes for, I believe, Fulfillment Line 6. And by doing boxes, that means you're at the front of the line. There's a label printer, and you're taking the labels off the printer, putting them on the boxes. And they're mailing labels. They've got the address, they've got codes that indicate what all goes in the boxes. They've got some barcodes that help with the shipping and tracking processes. And labels for each individual box. All the boxes are custom ordered as far as what meals are in them. And just like HelloFresh, there's several different shipping carriers that are used. Speaking of Factor meals, Friday night, I got a food box from him. It had 12 meals in it. I grabbed a large one. And Priscilla grabbed 3 out of my fridge yesterday. And she brought me a hell of a nice meal from Ona Hawaiian Grill. One of the meals that Priscilla got for me, she texted me about it while I was asleep today, saying it was really good, is sweet potato grits and sage chicken. Anyway, there's a Factor meal. That's what they look like. That's where they're labeled what they are. A bit of a squeeze. squeeze on this ramp here. Even now when traffic's flowing good, since traffic for both exits squeeze onto that one lane ramp over the bridge for the on-ramp for 24th Street. It's always one of those spots you gotta really pay attention. Anyway, yeah, boom boxes means that you're labeling them. The boxes are all laying flat. We have pallets of boxes. New boxes. The person who's puts the labels on them folds them up, kind of overfolds the underside to kind of get it into the proper shape. And then the next two people in the line, assuming it's two people, because all too often when it's me, it ends up being one person, and maybe that's what I get for being so efficient at it that I can manage to do both of those positions by myself. But you've got supposed to be the two people that do the inner liners, which are called the A liners and the B liners, as I explained yesterday. The A liner is the one that goes across the bottom of the box to the back of the box, and then it kind of has a flap that flips over the top when you close the box. The B liner is the one that wraps around the front and the two sides. Gets that in after the A liner gets put in. Next thing to go in is a block of ice. And this is with Factor. It's a little bit different with the HelloFresh meals. Actually, no, it's not. There's always a block of ice on the bottom. I just forgot there's another layer of ice in the regular HelloFresh box. It's been a while since I worked over there, since they, for some reason, stopped dealing with either of the two apps that I work through. Sorry, trying to down a Coca-Cola on the way to work. It's the Christmas Coca-Cola cans. I guess they've went with Santa Claus this year, so the adorable bears. Looks like the Coca-Cola polar bears. So, anyway, the guys that were doing the liners next to the guy I gave the ride home from, in line 6, which they're directly opposite me. I've been doing mostly, that's not all I did yesterday, but that's all I did the day before. Liners on line 5, is standing directly opposite me. But yeah, he said that those guys got chewed out and that they were both worthwhile through the same app that we were on. I didn't realize he was working through Workwhile. For some reason I thought he was working through a staffing agency there full time. So yeah, with him it was exactly the same as me. He was there last week via Winolo and this week via Workwhile. By the way, different Workwhile rep this week. Tonight it was the cross-dresser on Friday night. Last night it was an older kind of heavy set Latina. She was super nice. I guess I looked similar to one of the guys that came in and wasn't working. He clocked in and was apparently somewhere near the building. I don't know, trying to game the system and not actually do the work. But I'm there to hustle. So I didn't get there as early yesterday as I did the day before. Didn't get there until, when I got there in time, I want to say I came in the building at about 6:57-ish. And I think it's a 10-minute window either way. But yeah, I got there at, I got there and I managed to clock in, but I was having issues with the app on both my iPhone and Obama Phone 5. On a brighter note, security got both of those phones logged into the Wi-Fi there, which is passworded, and they don't have the password just readily available. Because there were a lot of people with Workwhile having that issue. You've got to be able to log in, you've got to be able to generate a code, which is all off the internet, and I mean, if it's a spot where people's mobile internet doesn't work well, that's a problem. You know what I mean? And I screenshot the password, so I was able to get Obama Phone 3 on it later. Anyway, all in all, great day at work. But yeah, it did take, between giving him a ride home and then I overshot the exit. He lives on 43rd Avenue, and about 35th Avenue, he's like, hey, pass my exit. I'm like, dude, on the west side, all these exits look the same to me. To me, most of the exits off I-10 just have no real character to them at all. You know, compared to when you get on the other side of the stack, I-10 going across Central Phoenix, and then the 202. The 202 has curves to it. Like, every exit looks distinctly different, at least to me. But yeah, so I exited 35th. We're heading north. It's like, hey, you want some tacos? As we're driving by Jack in the Box, and I'm not particularly fond of Jack in the Box tacos, but it's not really in my nature to say no to food in general. So, hell yeah, I want some tacos. So, he bought 4 tacos, 2 for him, 2 for me, which was sweet. Not near as nice as what he hooked me up with the night before. He stopped at Circle K, put $10 in my gas tank when I realized I was low on gas. So that helps a lot. God, but between the extra gas and the extra food, 12 factor meals. That was a big come up. Not to mention the pay's good. It's a little bit less than what I do with Winola working there. It's still good money. But yeah, but yeah, of course that added to the time it took to take him home. I ended up not getting home until, it's a long, even if I wasn't driving somebody home, like and making stops, that's a long drive. So I didn't get home until like 6:30. And I was just wound up, so it took me a while to get to sleep. I did try to call Priscilla, blew up her phone. It just, one went directly to voicemail, the other one, I could hear it ringing, and then it'd go to voicemail. It's like, well, I guess she's asleep, not waking up for that. And I don't even mess with knocking on the door at her place. It's just too difficult to get through the gate, and most of the time when I knock on her doors, even if I do manage to get through the gate, she don't answer. It doesn't wake her up. So whatever. It's, you know. She wants me to join her in bed in the morning that bad, so figure out some way other than me trying to hit her on the phone and her not answering it. Anyway, I gotta get my ass to work. Thanks for watching.